Where's South Australia at with schools? Are you forcing children onto online learning?
Well, we've consistently made it clear that we'll keep our schools open.
Yeah,
we are making online learning available, but there is no health advice to suggest that schools need to close. We've had millions of school days so far this year. We haven't had any case of a student infecting a teacher, nor a student to a student. We've only had one case of a teacher infecting a student. So particularly in the context of ongoing low prevalence in the community, we believe it's very safe for children to go to school. And we believe in education. We believe that children have the right to be at school.
Are you shocked that your colleagues, health ministers, the Labor and Liberal in other states, especially New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria, have shunned students from the schools, from the classrooms so readily?
I must admit that every state has to make their own decision. We're doing what we believe is right for South Australia. As I said earlier, in terms of the level of restrictions, we have charted a course in South Australia that is noticeably different from other jurisdictions. We're delighted with the support of the South Australian community in complying with the restrictions. To be frank, it exceeded my expectations. The level of voluntary compliance has been extremely high, and I believe has been fundamental to the good progress that's been made, and it will continue to be important. I think it's really important for South Australians and other Australians to be mindful that, yes, the government will, in concert with our public health clinicians, ease restrictions as we're able, but that will only be possible if they can continue to maintain the effort. Basic personal hygiene, social distancing, maintaining the limits in terms of mass gatherings and what have you. I can assure you that with our public health clinicians, we're looking actively at ways to move back towards normal life, but we'll be doing that in a very measured way. The last thing that Australia and South Australia needs is what we've seen in overseas, where as restrictions are eased, the outbreak returns.
Absolutely.
We want to ease restrictions. We don't need another outbreak.
Just on that, there's reports today of a South Australian health plan that has talked about flat-packed coffins and mortuary availability. Presumably, there's nothing alarmist in this. This is sensible disaster planning, if you like, that any state government would do should they get either a disaster or a pandemic like this getting out of control.
Exactly right. We in the South Australian government have not taken our foot off the brake as a result of recent news. We are continuing to prepare and plan for every scenario. And as I indicated in my comments earlier, one of the scenarios that we fear is that there will be another outbreak. So we will continue to prepare and plan. That will be for measures such as the mortuary planning that you refer to. It's also reflected in the fact that we haven't stopped building. We've got almost 300 beds that are being made available through ECH College Grove, the Wakefield Hospital, the old repat site. Those projects are continuing to push ahead. We hope that we'll never need them, but we are going to continue to prepare and plan just in case the worst happens.
Stephen Wade, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks, Chris.
Health Minister of South Australia there, Stephen Wade.